Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Asif.
Walaikum assalam, Dr. Anna.
Thank you for doing this.
Most welcome.
अच्छा, तो this is how we start. हम usually start करते हैं कि where were you born?
So I was born in Karachi.
अच्छा, and what kind of a kid were you? Were you very naughty? Were you very sharif?
Kind of a mix as being a middle child. तो
अच्छा।
कुछ थोड़ा शरारती भी थे लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ाई की तरफ भी था तो मिक्स kind of.
मजाले मुँह हैं तुम्हारे ऊपर बहुत सारे।
हाँ वो रोटियाँ और दही हमें लेकर आनी होती थी।
अच्छा, और and then where did you go to school from?
So there was a school in front of Quaid-e-Azam's Mazar, St. Rita School, Catholic school था। फिर वहीं से it was a primary school. उसके बाद फिर St. Paul's है एक सदर में, वो भी Catholic school था। It was a secondary school.
अच्छा, एंड स्कूल में आई थिंक यू फ्रॉम द सेम जनरेशन जहाँ हमारे पास दो ऑप्शंस होते थे, या तो मेडिसिन करो यानी बायोलॉजी लो या फिर कंप्यूटर साइंस लो। तो व्हाट मेड यू गो टुवर्ड्स बायोलॉजी?
सो बेसिकली सेफर ऑप्शन था 9 के अंदर। वो कहते थे कि अगर आप बायो ले लें तो आप आगे जाके इंजीनियरिंग ले सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर इंजीनियरिंग ले ली तो आगे जाके बायो नहीं ले सकेंगे। तो उस सेंस में ले लिया, फिर आगे बस just went with the flow like we all have done.
Yeah, probably. उसके बाद फिर इंटर कहाँ से किया?
इंटर डीजे साइंस कॉलेज से।
अच्छा, and then उसके बाद med school. You're a KMDCian. And how was those 5 years of KMDC were like?
Those were the best years of my life. Everything from professionalism to fun, हर चीज़ हमने वहीं पे देखी, क्योंकि इंडिपेंडेंस पहली दफ़ा आपको मिलती है। क्योंकि कॉलेज के अंदर, स्कूल के अंदर बहुत स्ट्रेस होता है कि किसी तरह आपने बस मेडिकल स्कूल में जाना है। जब आप फाइनली पहुंच जाते हैं तो एक तरह का रिलीफ भी होता है। फिर एक तरह की एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज़ आप पहली दफ़ा इंडिपेंडेंटली कर रहे होते हैं, तो दैट वाज फन।
Okay. And med school के अंदर डिसाइड कर लिया था कि भाई ENT is something that जो करना है, या बाद में जाके जब इंटर्नशिप की या हाउस जॉब की तो फिर पता चला?
सो थर्ड ईयर फोर्थ ईयर में एक माइंड तो बना लिया था हम लोगों ने। मैं था, मेरा एक और दोस्त था कि हमने ENT करना है, क्योंकि बेसिकली हमारा जो एक्सपोजर था, हमारी एक NGO थी होप्स के नाम से, तो वहाँ पे जो हमारे सीनियर्स थे वो ज़्यादातर ENT में थे। तो उनको देख देख के, उनकी बातें सुन के हमें लगा कि एक ऐसी फील्ड है जिसमें मेडिसिन भी है, सर्जरी भी है। देन फिर इसमें इलेक्टिव्स भी किए, फिर इसमें हाउस जॉब भी की, तो ग्रेजुअली eventually decided कि ENT में जाना है।
And then उसके बाद you came here for your internship.
Yeah.
How was that experience like? And क्या कहते हैं, what did you learn in that 1 year? ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ कि like after you came here you're like यार ENT नहीं करनी या
नहीं। So like वो हमारे यहाँ मिथ था कि हम सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में थे कि आपने आखान में जाएंगे तो हैंड्स ऑन नहीं मिलेगा और इस तरह की बातें। बट आई वॉज श्योर कि हाउस जॉब में सब हैंड्स ऑन नहीं लेना, सिर्फ एक्सपोजर लेना है। तो एक्सपोजर ऑफ ENT वॉज गुड। सो इनिशियली आई डिडंट गॉट ENT, तो आई गॉट एन इमरजेंसी रोटेशन। तो फिर हमारी दूसरी वो इमरजेंसी बहुत इजीली चेंज कर लेते थे लोग, तो फिर मैंने ENT चेंज किया, तो इट वॉज गुड।
And then उसके बाद फिर you finally decided to come here as a resident. क्यों भाई? How was those 5 years like?
So those 5 years were like roller coaster. कुछ ups थे, कुछ downs थे, but overall it was a very good decision. और I think क्योंकि ENT की ट्रेनिंग बहुत कम जगह पे इतनी एडिक्वेट है जो आपको हर लिहाज से, और आखान की ट्रेनिंग आपको हर एस्पेक्ट से जो है ट्रेन कर देती है, फ्रॉम टफनेस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू टू स्किल टू एग्जाम्स. So everything was great about it, but I enjoyed my 5 years.
Nice. And then once you were done with your residency, mashallah say, you went into taking up another role of being an attending, and that too outside from AKU, where for the last 6 years you were here as an intern, as a resident, and then out in the system, which is totally different from here. Now mashallah say you're a program director. The program director से पहले जब consultant बने in new place, how was that like?
So it was good. Ziauddin Hospital is also a tertiary care hospital. So transition was, I would say it was smooth, because in final year you have already passed your exam, and 10 months I spent being the final year resident. A part of it was chief resident. So you get to do a lot of independent surgeries, independent work, some clerical work as well. So I think it was good. It was smooth transition. Initially I was the student coordinator there, so I learned a lot. I did my CHPE. It is related to how to teach medical students. So it was good, and then after 3 years, I shifted. My role was shifted to postgraduate. So it's a good journey till now.
And then now you're program director at Mashallah. Say, how is that role like?
So I'm enjoying that role, being mentor for young trainees. Not far back, we ourselves were trainees, so I could relate to many of the issues which we used to think that our mentors should relate to us.
Yeah.
So it's good to be on the other side of the table, and I'm enjoying it.
So you've talked about how you've had seniors, जिनको देख के you became an ENT surgeon, and now you're at a position where people are looking at you. What do you think a mentor should be like, and or what are the things that a good mentor should have?
So a good mentor should be, first of all, I think empathy is the most important aspect. Like I said, to think what we were thinking 5 years back or 4 years back, to relate to them. They must be thinking the same things. Like we used to think that we are not getting enough hands-on, or we are overworking, or we are not getting to have our weekends. So these things are very relatable. Other thing is that I think you should be a role model for them. You should not be expecting them to do something which you yourself are doing. You should not be stealing their credits from their
Research.
from their research and academic works. You should be a facilitator rather than being a boss or.
और क्या कहते हैं, हमारी दफा में भी like this concept was starting to come. Now it's very well established sort of work-life balance. What do you think is work-life balance?
So work-life balance, I think in the longer run it has its importance, but during residency it is important. But I think during residency you should be more towards work, and even work is part of life. It's not that work is a separate thing and life is a separate thing, and you are balancing the two differently. So it's just that you should not be indulging one thing so much that the other things are getting hurt. So I think you should be covering both, but in those 5 years, because if you don't get to train enough in those 5 years, then you will be lacking in your field in the entire life. So I think it's part of the balancing act that you should be doing more in your those 5 years.
Okay, I have some questions from your residents. There's a huge list, so I hope I'm able to question you on all of them. So what do you have to say about midlife crisis?
So I think I'm not.
I'm guessing.
So we don't know when is the end. So we are not sure about the middle of it. But I think it's usually the 40s, which is in which people go through
Maybe
this.
something
but
that's about to come.
That's about to come. Yeah. So we'll see when we reach there.
Acha, then how does a young consultant stay motivated among senior consultants or competition in the market?
So I think our competition is with our own self. It's not with our seniors. Seniors have spent their time. They have their experience. Most of young consultants compare themselves with seniors and get frustrated about it. I've seen many of our colleagues, they just compare that they are getting more work, but they have worked hard for their entire life. And in our field, it's not about marketing, it's more about word of mouth. So they have their own personal references. I don't think that we have a competition with them. Our competition is with our own self, that we should be getting updated with the latest technologies, with the latest procedures and research. I don't see any competition with my seniors.
Okay, awesome. And what do you think is the significance of being approachable? You're a program director, so how important is it that you're approachable to the juniors that you have? And strictness कितनी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है when you're dealing with adults as a resident?
So like I said that program director for me, मैं तो उसको as a facilitator ही लेता हूँ. आपको boss तो है नहीं. You can only guide someone, but if someone is not listening, you can't be strict with them in adult practice. So you can guide them. If they are not listening, you can just ask them to maybe change the mentor. Maybe you are not working for them and they are not working for you.
Okay.
So you can just guide them enough and see if they are responding. If they are not responding, then they can move on and you can move on with the thing.
Okay. So what is one thing that you adopted from your faculty, and one thing that you feel should not be there in a faculty?
So I think majority of our practice are learned from our own faculty. what I have learned from them is working hard and working ethically and not working unethically. I have to be there for my patients even when the hours are off. You have to be there. One thing which should not be in the faculty, I think it should be that you should not be unanswerable to your own self or patients or even residents. You
You
are
should
a
have
human.
conscience.
You are human and you are bound to make mistakes. And if someone is pointing towards that, you should be correcting them rather than be stubborn about it and not
Valid
correcting
point.
them.
Valid point. So there's another question where there's an explanation to it. So we've seen a lot of like our world change towards people talking about self-care. There's a lot of lack of empathy. We ghost people, block them, not talk to them, rather than having talking about stuff and solving the issue. Would rather not be empathetic about it. Yes, we as doctors may be empathetic towards our patients, but towards each other, why is the empathy dying in people?
So I'm not
And
sure.
how can we keep it alive?
I think empathy is something which you need to practice and reflect upon time and time again, because our work life is not balanced. Our work is always our life is always towards work. And when you see many dying patients, many terminally ill patients, you tend to become insensitive about things, and that insensitivity can creep into your own
Life.
as well, and you tend to not take things for granted and not being sensitive about things. So you should always be reminding yourself and reflecting upon your own stuff, that your words or actions should not be hurting your own loved ones. It can happen, and you should just keep on reminding yourself, I think.
How do you remain calm in surgeries? There might be times where a technician is not as proactive or not in line with whatever you're wanting to do. So how do you keep yourself calm, or are you somebody who just throws instruments in?
So I'm usually towards the calmer side, but obviously sometimes the emotions can get the better of you. But mostly I've seen that even with people who are not being calm about that and being throwing stuff or slaying, things don't work out. Eventually the things gets done the way they get done there. So the bashing doesn't work. So I have seen my seniors and colleagues. So my personality is like that. I have developed the practice to remain calm, take deep breaths, and reinforce, keep saying one thing rather than shouting about it.
Nice. Acha, so what do you think is the role of religion or spirituality in practicing our field? And does it help you being a good doctor?
I think it has a very big role, not being as a doctor, but as a person also, because especially in our field, at times when you do good, you might, the term which we all have heard, the God complex, which can creep into doctors, especially the surgeons. When you think that you have saved someone or from a trauma or a cancer, you would think that I have done something. And there will be days when your mistake or miscalculation can take someone's life. So I think the phrase that this shall too pass is applicable on our life most of the days, because at times we will have good days, but most of the times we will have average days. So spirituality keeps you humble and keeps you grounded, and it reminds you also that you can be on the other side of the table as well. Because we have seen our own colleagues and seniors lying on the same table, and there could come a time that we could be on that side as well.
One last question. One last message by you towards all the residents or interns or people who, like you, are watching and want to be a head and neck surgeon.
So first thing I would say is to remain calm and don't rush things, and take a lot of exposure from all around the world. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube as well, internet, and then your own vicinity. You have your own departments where you can see stuff. You can go abroad. Now the world has turned into a global village. It's not just कि आप तो सिर्फ अपने डिपार्टमेंट में प्रोसीजर्स देखने को मिलेंगे. आप अपने डिपार्टमेंट से सीख सकते हैं. आप अपने कोलीग से डिफरेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में जाके सीख सकते हैं. आई थिंक अब now in our generation the gap is not that much and people are approachable and even across cities like last month me and one of my colleague was in Islamabad. There was a lot to learn from our own colleagues from other part of the city and then other part of the country, continents. So it's just keep learning and don't think that you have achieved until you are done.
You're done, yeah. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you for doing this.
Thank